Hi everybody, this is Felicia and welcome to the Crafty Maven. Here is a scrap lift, and it is a scrap lift that I'm going to be scrapping of myself. So I'm going to start out here with a photo of my two grandchildren here, and they are going on their first equestrian ride, and they had a great time. Oh my gosh. Apparently, they rode for about I think about an hour and a half, something like that. I don't remember exactly how long they rode for, but that's what they did, and they enjoyed themselves. So, and that was up in, I think, Lake Tahoe area here in California. So I am going to be using bits and pieces here from my hip kit, and I decided to go ahead and mat that on the black to give it some, just a little bit of a border there. And I'm also going to give this photo a little bit of a black border as well. So I'm going to be scrap lifting my own layout, and I'm going to be using some layers like I did on that layout that you saw there in the beginning, but I'm going to be using them a little bit differently, and I'm going to use a little bit different layers. So I'm starting here with some tissue paper, but instead of me making it like a thick pile underneath, I'm kind of tear it. As you can see, I'm tearing it because I wanted to have that hapless, or what I should say, just kind of careless look to it, or like I just threw it together or just put some pieces of paper together that were torn or ripped or whatever the case may be, because of the title. And so I got that little mesh thingy that you see there. That is actually a stencil, or I think a die. I forget, but I got it from out of my hip kit. So I'm going to be using that as one of the layers. And then I'm going to be using some of that vellum that you see that I've had in my stash forever as one of the layers as well. So I'm tearing everything. So it's giving it that rough edge look, and that's what I'm going for because I'm going to be doing something else with it later on, and you'll see when I get towards the end of the layout there. So I'm adding some more tissue paper, but this time I'm layering it a little bit different, and I'm ripping it still, so you can see I'm tearing everything. Now in the original layout, I only tore, I think, a couple pieces, but because I'm scrap lifting it, I'm going to do it a little bit differently than what I've done before. So I'm going to be taking some of this and I'm tearing it, as you can see, and the way I'm tearing it is I'm tearing it so that it could provide some of the white that you see there, and that's what I'm going for. And so normally if you're tearing something and you don't want that white, you would tear it a little differently, but the way I tore it was so that I could get that white edge as well as the printed, the pattern part of it too at the same time. So I'm trimming it down a little bit, and you can see here that I've layered quite a few layers under there, and I'm not done yet. As you can see, I've taken out one of my files here and I am roughing the edge. I tried to find my Tim Holtz tool. I don't know where it's at, but this is only going to do so much. But I wanted to have that worn out look, or that look of what the title is going to be called, which is adventure. So like it went through a lot, that's what I wanted to look like. And so as you can see, that's why I wanted the white edge, of course, at the bottom. People don't want to take the time to do this, but I'm telling you, it's worth it sometimes because it gives you that distressed, worn look. And that's what I was going for when I was doing this. And so I finally did find my Tim Holtz too. As you can see, I came back with it so I can finish it off. But I tell you, I was like, where is that thing? And I couldn't figure it out. So I'm roughing up the edges of the tissue paper as well. I'm looking at those little bits and pieces that I have all over the place. I was going to do something with them, but I think I changed my mind there on that. So I'm using this die cut as just the title, and I'm placing it right there. It seemed like it was just made just to fit right there because that's exactly where it went, and that's what I wanted the title to be anyway. So it worked out perfect. So now I'm going to be using some die cuts, even though that cactus has nothing to do with the layout, but I thought I'd put it on there because I'm not going to probably use that cactus anywhere else, but this is the best time because when you are writing, sometimes you'll see different kinds of flowers and things, and you might see a cactus or two, depending on where you're writing at. So, and then goes the second cactus as well. So I just took both of those die cuts because, you never know you have just gonna take them out. It's not like you're going in the desert or anything like that, but still, I just thought because it is horse riding, and you know we kind of relate that a little bit. I guess I do. So I'm putting in the little bitty pieces here of die cuts, and I use the Amy Tangerine ephemera pack. Now I do not know what collection it is because I have not been keeping up with the collections. I've been just relying on my kits because right now I'm not spending any extra money or anything like that to buy collections. I've held off on that, so the only thing that I get now is just my kits. I have collections here that I haven't even used up, and so that's one of the biggest reasons why I was like, oh my gosh, if I keep adding collections and not using them, then yeah. So there's that piece of die cut there that says fun, and I'm trying to figure out where to put that because they did have a lot of fun. And I want this on there to show that their adventure was just not only an adventure, but it was a fun adventure for them. And they really enjoyed themselves, they said. So I was not there for this equestrian ride, but my daughter was, and she took the photo for me, and then I decided to go ahead and scrap it. But according to David and Faith, they had a great time and they want to do it again. So I think I've done horseback riding like twice in my life. I really didn't get a chance to do it all as much as I wanted to because at the time when I did it, it was a little expensive. So I don't know how expensive it is now, or if it is expensive, I don't know anymore because it's been a while. So I'm using some of these little word strips here to put at the bottom. That's not replacing the journaling. You can see I got a spot already designed for the journaling. It's just a little extra something to add some of the words on what their venture could have been. And then I'm adding some enamel dots in clusters of 3 and 3 of the different areas of the clusters. So there you have those. And added different colors, of course. And I like the way this is turning out. It looks so fun and adventurous to me. It does. It just looks like, wow. And it's so colorful, too. And this is the kind of stuff I love working with. There's lots and lots of color. So I'm using some of the Heidi Swap Black Velvet to sprinkle some dots on there. I decided that, oh, this is good. This is good. I like it. But then I decided to do an outline of it. And the way I did this outline was I just did a double wonky line. It didn't really matter. And then I decided to kind of shade in the corners a little bit and then put some like zigzagging faux, whatever you want to call it, on there, which I really liked. It actually added some more interest to the layout, which it worked out perfect. Alrighty, I think I am done with that. There you have it. And so be sure to tune into the Crafty Maven for more inspiration. There's inspiration that comes to Crafty Maven every day. Take care, you guys, and have a great, wonderful, scrappy week. Bye-bye.